Hi, my lovelies. Welcome back to the channel. Today, we're going to be baking up another wonderful vegan recipe. I found this recipe online, and the author was Lori Rasmussen by My Quiet Kitchen. And today, we're going to adapt her recipe for healthy vegan banana brownies. When I seen this recipe online, I knew it was going to be the perfect recipe to share with y'all. Okay, so I went ahead and prepped everything. So let me show you exactly what I prepped so you guys can follow along and do the same thing at home. And if you haven't already, please like and subscribe and join the movement for wonderful, delicious recipes. All right. So we have 1 cup of oat flour that we're going to go ahead and use, a 1/2 cup of natural cocoa powder, and our baking soda. We're going to use 1 teaspoon of baking soda, 1/2 teaspoon of sea salt, and a teaspoon of cinnamon. And then we have our wet ingredients right here. We have some over-ripened bananas. So I used about 2.5 bananas to get 1 cup of mashed bananas. We have a 1/4 cup of maple syrup. We can either use coconut sugar or brown sugar. I love the taste of brown sugar, so I decided to use brown sugar instead of the coconut because I know sometimes coconut sugar gives it a little more of a coconut taste, which I didn't want. I wanted more of a chocolatey, maybe banana taste. And we needed either a tablespoon of brewed coffee or non-dairy milk. I choose to do non-dairy milk, or you can use regular milk if you're not vegan. 2 teaspoons of pure vanilla extract, and 1/3 cup of runny almond butter. All right, so let's get started with mixing everything together. So the first thing we're going to need to do is preheat our oven to 350 degrees Fahrenheit. Okay. Then you're going to need an 8 by 8 square pan and line that with parchment paper. And I'm going to go ahead and put this to the side. Okay, in a large bowl, we're going to put in our 1 cup of oat flour, our 1/2 of cocoa powder. We're going to get a teaspoon of baking soda and a teaspoon of cinnamon. And you can omit the cinnamon. You do not have to have it in this recipe, but I wanted to try the cinnamon in the recipe, so we'll see if it's too overpowering. I'll let you guys know. Okay. A 1/2 teaspoon of fine sea salt. Okay, we're gonna whisk this together in our bowl. Okay, the next thing you're gonna do is you're gonna place your bananas in a small bowl and thoroughly mash them with a fork. And so I have mine in my measuring cup, and I'm just gonna do it in here. So I'm gonna mash them, and it's okay to have a few chunks. Don't feel like you have to liquefy them per the recipe. Okay, now that they're mashed, I'm gonna go ahead and transfer them into this small bowl because we're gonna need to incorporate the other wet ingredients, or actually not all the wet ingredients, but I'll let you guys know what ingredients we're about to incorporate in this little bowl of mashed bananas. Okay, so now we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna add in the maple syrup, sugar, 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract, and our almond butter. And per this recipe, we are supposed to stir vigorously until well combined. Okay, let's kind of do the blending effect. Instead of using my hands, I decided to use 1 little mixer on my mixing my blender, and then I'm gonna mix it that way. Okay, so one of the confusions I had about this recipe is that in the instructions, it didn't say anything about the 1 tablespoon of brewed coffee or the non-dairy milk. So I assume that that will go into our wet mixture. That's why I love pre-measuring things, because then I'm like, why do I have this milk here, but it has nothing in the instructions about putting the milk in the wet ingredients. But I'm gonna go ahead and add the milk or your coffee. Go ahead and add it to the wet ingredients and blend, blend, blend. Okay, so now we're gonna take our wet ingredients and we're gonna pour our wet ingredients into our dry, and then we're going to mix it well. Smells really good. Smells a little cinnamony, a little banana-y, a little chocolatey. Okay, so now that our bananas and everything is incorporated here, so now that our mixture is all mixed up, we are going to put in our chopped walnuts, and we're just gonna fold those in to the batter. Okay, so now we are going to pour actually I'm gonna put it this way, our mixture into our baking sheet. And don't forget, you're lining this with parchment paper. And you know what I've learned, you guys? Parchment paper is like one of the most important things that you should have when you're baking. Oh goodness. Doing too much talking. Okay, so if you are a baker, please get yourself some parchment paper. It makes your life so much easier. Okay, so now we have our brownies in our pan, and we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna bake this for about 28 to 31 minutes. I'm gonna set my timer for 28 minutes because I love my brownies soft and moist, but everyone's oven is different. So you may have to watch yours, put the fork in, see if they're all, baked in the middle before you take yours out. But again, I'm gonna set my timer at 28 minutes and see how they come out. Cut and out of the oven, and this is the best part. Pretty good.